Hey, so it's time to watch another stupid fucking Lauren Chen video. Because if there's one thing that always cheers me up, it's watching people who are stupid and pooping on them because they are stupid and evil and shitty. So it is what it is. Yeah, chat was getting horny, and now we're watching a Lauren Chen video. So I'm curing us. I'm blessing the timeline with some anti-horny juice. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Oh man.
Hey, Lauren here. Let's talk about a very concerning family drag show that recently happened in Dallas, Texas. And obviously, lately, the issue of sexualizing children, specifically in regard to LGBT material, that's been something in the headlines a lot. And thankfully, we have seen parents in places like Florida and Virginia, especially, step up and say, not today, Satan. Get the hell away from my.
Okay. Like, children are not being sexualized by going to drag shows. Nice conflation. And not today, Satan. Okay. I sometimes forget that Lauren is, in fact, pretty much at this point, borderline crypto-fash. Christofash. There's nothing crypto about her.
My children. This is not family appropriate. This isn't something kids should learn about. This needs to stop. And those types of conversations have led to things like the parental rights and education bill in Florida and just in general the election of Glenn Youngkin in Virginia over his Democrat opponent. And that's all good stuff in the side of wholesomeness and not drag queen children.
It's a win for authoritarianism. Whether or not you agree with my take, and you're going to get my take on this, whether or not you agree with it, agreeing with Lauren agrees with authoritarianism. And there's no way around that. There is no fucking way around it. It is authoritarian to use the fucking government to dictate people's behavior and illegalize something that there's no standard legal basis for. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I really like consistency, and I'm like kind of against that whole like authority thing and government overreach. Weird.
Continues to make strides, but hang on a second. What about the parents who, when they learn about the grooming behaviors directed toward children, when they learn about pornographic materials being shown to their children, what about those parents who, instead of saying, no, what are you doing? Are you an insane person? What about the parents who actually go, yes, please? Because as concerning as it would seem to most of us, I hope, there are actually people.
Probably not. I don't think most people in the United States gives that much of a shit about this issue. I really don't. And if they are, it's only because they're being lied to, and they don't take 1/2 second to actually fucking think about it. But we'll get there.
People out there who think there's nothing wrong with their 5-year-old being exposed to drag. And not only is there nothing wrong, heck, actually, it's a good thing. Those people sadly exist. And this past weekend, they gathered in Dallas, Texas with their children to watch drag queens perform at a bar.
So what? Who cares? Like, I cannot even begin to wrap my mind around somebody giving a shit about this. I really don't. No, we're not playing a game of 20 questions right now. We're filming a video, buddy. No, it just makes me, it's so bizarre to me that anybody would actually fucking care about this. The only way that you can give a shit about this is if you're so gassed up by dickheads like Lauren to think that like this is some sort of like evil grooming behavior. You know what grooms kids? Priests, religion, hardcore fucking like authoritarian attitudes, racist families, okay? Like that's grooming kids into ideologies. It's when you don't just leave kids alone and be kids.
That's what we're going to be unpacking today. But before we get into it, I do want to say thank you to today's sponsor.
Nope, no free sponsorship advertising on my channel. You can suck my ass. It's just some fucking.
So we really support our sponsors over here. Okay, now let's go into the details about this child-friendly, family-friendly drag show that recently happened. First thing we need to go over is that it happened in a bar. And I feel like that's like, of all that should be your number one red flag. And obviously there's many red flags here, but it's like, no, as a parent, you should not be bringing your child, potentially even your infant, to a bar. And
In Oregon, you can take a kid into select establishments that are bars until 10 p.m. because why not? You can go in the middle of the day to a Denny's and they serve beer. In some parts of the country, some of these places, they sell liquor. You can have your kids there. What's the fucking problem? What is it inherently about a bar that is, ooh, spooky and bad for kids? You can't have kids in there. Like, what's going to happen? A kid walks to the bar and he's like, suddenly I turn away from the light of Jesus Christ and I worship Satan. Like, what the fuck, man?
we can have a conversation about pubs because pubs are different. There are dining areas, they serve food. That's not the same thing.
It is the same fucking thing. And also in Oregon, at least, if you serve alcohol, if you serve liquor, actually, I think if you serve any alcohol at all, you have to also have food. Now, really, really shitty establishments. Only liquor? It's only liquor where that's the requirement? Okay. In some places, that leads to them like having only really ridiculous bar food, like Hot Pockets or something. But that's actually pretty rare. Most of the time, some of the bars around here, that's where you get the best food, like the best.
In my opinion, this event happened.
Yeah. Disneyland sells alcohol. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Straight up at a gay bar. And just to really illustrate how not family friendly this environment is, there are actually photos that have emerged from the event, and there are signs on the wall which, like, okay, say you are a parent and you're thinking maybe I give this event a try. The moment you walked into this gay bar, you should have turned right around. As
Why?
Taylor Hansen on Twitter, who has done a lot of great reporting about this event, showed, there were 2 neon signs on display at this bar, one of them saying it's not gonna lick itself.
Kids see more spicy innuendo in SpongeBob than that. Like, everybody's seen SpongeBob, right? One episode of SpongeBob has more innuendo than that does. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually fucking kidding me right now? Holy shit. Daytime television is spicier than that.
The other one saying I licked it, so it's mine. Look, even as an adult, I can say that that's
These are like ice cream jokes.
gross. I wouldn't want to hang out somewhere with that kind of thing on the wall. Just is a little bit icky in my opinion, but
Yeah, you're really fucking boring. I know. I've met you in real life. You're fucking boring as shit.
anyone would think it's okay to bring a child to that environment. It is just so disappointing. And it really goes to show how there is like literally no bar to becoming a parent. And I would hope that people see parenthood as a way to make themselves better, to hold themselves to a higher standard, to try to do better for their children. But clearly that's not the case for everybody. And
It's very telling that you think the priority for having children is for your own self-improvement. That's fucking weird.
anyone who might say, oh, Lauren, you're being so judgmental. Yeah, I am. I am judging everyone involved in this situation a lot, like really hardcore condemnation from this corner over here. Which brings us to the actual performance that happened. Based on footage that has come out from the event, you can clearly see that there are young children in attendance and the drag queens are dressed very inappropriately. Like,
Okay. I also really want to make this point. She keeps saying things like, it's come out or it's been revealed, and like, there was nothing hidden about this. It was a public event, a family-friendly public event. Like, framing it like it was something that was being hidden is so disingenuous and so shitty.
I don't care what your gender is, you should not be wearing fishnets, high-heeled boots, and a bodysuit around young children. Really anybody, but like especially not around young children. This is what I don't understand. If children were being brought to a burlesque show with women, I feel like feminists would be up in arms about it, saying how wrong it is.
Okay. I will agree. Don't take kids to a burlesque show. That would be weird. That would be fucking weird. Like, don't take kids to a goddamn burlesque show. Because there is something inherently sexual and specifically adult about a burlesque show. But there isn't about a drag show. And as far as being worried about the provocative, outfit and whatnot, You see that shit on the street. You see that everywhere. Anybody who's getting dressed to go out, for a night of dancing or something. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Daytime television. Like, Baywatch, for fuck's sake. That's what it was with me. Baywatch. Like, ooh, Baywatch. That's way skimpier than, like, what you'd see at drag. Most of the time, drag is not to be sexual and sexy. It's to be flamboyant and exciting and colorful. She can't be serious right now. Lauren is a very stupid fucking person. So I think she is.
Encouraging objectification, you name it. But for some reason, when the performers are men dressed as women, it's suddenly empowering. I don't get it. But anyway, as Taylor here posted with this video, a drag queen just dropped it low for a child and took money from them as well.
She looks fucking great. What an awesome outfit. What an awesome outfit. How is that, like, sexual and provocative? It just looks fucking fancy. Everybody's having a good time. Dancing, dancing, dance, dance, dance. What? Thank you.
Just absolutely.
What the fuck is wrong with that? What is wrong? What is even wrong with that? What the fuck? What is wrong with that? You have a performer who is not being sexual, who is dressed very flamboyantly and doing a performance that is not sexual, because drag is not inherently sexual. I know some people say that it kind of... No, it's no. Not any more than just the most basic, like, just that thing exists. And, like, I can't even fucking wrap my head around this shit. This is so fucking weird. How in the fuck does anybody have a problem with that?
Sickening stuff. And you know how they used to at least have PSAs, public service announcements, for things like, hey guys, drugs are bad, or hey, don't litter, like basic messages that everyone should know, but that some people just need to be told because, some people. I feel like we need PSAs to come back now, but this time for parents saying, hey, by the way, don't take your children to drag queen, essentially strip shows. Like, don't.
They were not stripping. There was no stripping. There was no stripping. Like, I fucking cannot. I cannot with this shit. This is so fucking bizarre to me.
Do that. Like, hey, if you find yourself in a situation when you're in a gay bar with your child and there is someone in fishnet stockings and pretty much a thong dancing around, maybe
Lauren has never seen a thong. She only wears, like, big wide granny butt fucking panties, I guess. That was full underwear, and it wasn't even underwear, it was a bodysuit, and it covered the cheeks. What the fuck?
Evaluate your choices. Maybe take a step back and think, probably not the best. Let me leave and put on Paw Patrol. Probably more age appropriate. And just the absolute grossness of this event gets even worse because at one point it seems like the children were actually invited up on stage with the drag queens and they were doing like catwalk stuff together, because if there's one thing you want even more than bringing your child to a drag show as a parent, it's clearly for them to learn the tricks and the trade of being a drag queen.
Let's go.
That's so cute. That's so cute. And I'm sorry, but walking down a runway, that's not... Okay, Lauren, strippers don't tend to walk down a walkway, a catwalk. They usually are spinning around on a pole in one place. Runways are for fashion models. Strangely, I don't think that either Lauren knows that or she just doesn't care, because she sees this is what happens in Lauren's peanut brain, okay? She sees something that her Christofash fucking brain just says, ew, ick. And then she has to throw sexuality at it so she can justify why she doesn't like it and why it makes her uncomfortable. It's not that any of this is sexual, because it's not. It's not that any of this is inappropriate, because it's not. It's because Lauren thinks it's icky. Ew. That's why. It has nothing to fucking do with anything that she's using as a justification and further trying to like pump the dicks of fucking bigotry for a goddamn audience that are usually only there because they're thirsting after a fucking Asian. It is entirely because she wants to justify the reason why it makes her uncomfortable. Because she's boring and lame. That kid is trying not to giggle. Being sassy. She looks fucking amazing too, man. What an that's awesome. I love her outfit. That's so cool. It's like one part Lady Gaga, one part Macho Man Randy Savage with the fringe and everything. I fucking love it. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, Lauren would probably look at that and be like, that drag queen is in a revealing, fully covering beauty dress. Like, fucking, this is cute. Yeah, that's great.
And then we have even more footage of the performance just in general showing how sexually explicit a lot of the dance moves that were going
Sexually explicit? What?
on were.
How is this sexually explicit? How is that sexually explicit? She's flexible, so what? How is that sexually explicit? What? And and I gotta fucking point this out. Source, Twitter, Andy No. A fucking core. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. Oh man. Oh, this is so dumb. How in the fucking world is any of this sexually explicit? I don't fucking understand. I don't get it. Like you could say like it's sexual because she's attractive, and that would be weird, and I wouldn't agree to that. But that would actually at least be slightly more sane than sexually explicit. Like, what? No, it's not sexual. No, none of this is sexual at all. It's so bizarre. What in the fuck? That's traditional Ukrainian
This is just
dance?
disgusting, and I think one of the worst things you could possibly do as a human is to pollute.
Is this the one where John Doyle was outside demanding cops go and murder everybody? Was it this one in specific? I thought it was a different one where John Doyle was out there. But like that's the news story, right? The news story for Lauren is this is gross and icky, so I have to try and convince you that this is all sexual and not just a bunch of people just having fun about something that I don't like, and that's why we need authoritarian measures so we could ban it. Nah, that's the story instead of there's a guy outside that just wants the cops to utilize state power and murder everybody. Okay. Fucking Jesus. It was this exact event. Fucking amen. Yeah, you see more sexually explicit adverts on TV, ones that are actually like sexualized, whereas these were not.
Pollute and pervert children. I mean, children are just these staples of innocence. They are amazing. They are pure. They are wholesome. And so for people to look at children and childhood in general and to try and pollute that with all of this degeneracy.
So what she means is we need to raise children to be afraid of this and hate it so that they can grow up and be lame and shitty and cruel and bigoted like me. Hey, hey.
I mean, it really is, it's sickening. It sickens me, and it should sicken all of you watching this.
Nope.
And not only that, but the fact that this isn't just happening because of school administrators or something doing this to other people's children, but that it's the parents themselves who are bringing their kids to this event, which, by the way, was titled Drag the Kids to Pride.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to these parents. And honestly, I worry for these children because clearly...
If anybody who has any experience with drag queens know, puns are like a staple of drag queen. Like the culture is so fun and so funny, and they always have to have puns galore. It's great.
Their parents are not making decisions based on their kids' best interests. These are messed up parents who either have very poor judgment and or are these raging ideologues who are just trying to start the indoctrination for their children super, super young. And for anyone who might be saying, oh, well, this is just supposed to be preaching tolerance and acceptance, you can teach tolerance and acceptance without making your child witness a man dancing around in a thong. Like, it's very...
None of them were wearing thongs. None of them were wearing thongs. You lying again. You lying, you lying fucking liar face. And it wasn't about teaching tolerance. It was about putting on a fun drag show. Like, if anybody out there has never been to a drag show, I highly recommend you go. Because it's fun. They're really fun. I have known many, many drag queens, and I have been friends with a number, three drag queens. And they are wonderful. Wonderful. You don't get into drag to be a shithead. Okay? That's not how it goes. They are usually some of the nicest people. And the thing that's interesting about drag, and this is what a lot of people might not understand either. And it's not really a topic in this, and honestly, I'm just fucking tired of Lauren's bullshit at this point. So, I'm just going to talk a little bit about drag, and then we're going to wrap this up. But here, very, 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 very simple. There are no rules when it comes to drag. Drag does not mean trans. Can you have a trans person who does drag? Sure. Sure. Because there's no rules. Do drag queens identify as women? Honestly, most of the time, no. Do some? Sure. Some like to be transvestites in their spare time and live as a different gender. They might feel trans, or they just might be more comfortable that way, or whatever. Some are gay, some are straight. There are no rules when it comes to drag. The only rule when it comes to drag is the performance, the bombastic nature, the costumes and the dancing and the performance and the sassiness. Like, that's it. That's the only rule for drag. That's why you can have drag queens and drag kings from all different gamuts of different types of society and subsets. There is no rules. There's one other basic rule about drag. It's fun. And that's the only reason it happens. That's the only reason why it's done, is because it's fun. It is really, really, really fucking fun. And I've been to drag shows in bars. I've been to drag shows at big outdoor amphitheaters. I've been to drag shows in parks. And I think like one drag performance, out of all the times I've gone to drag, one performance of the entire night, I am glad that it was at a bar late at night and that there wouldn't be kids there. The rest of them, dozens upon dozens, even ones at bars at night, I wouldn't worry about any kids seeing it because it's just a performance and it's just to have fun. And there was nothing sexual about it, just like there was nothing sexual in this one that she's trying to use as a moral panic. And Lauren is a fucking Christo-fash authoritarian wingnut. And she sucks and she's lame and she's boring. And that's why we're not going to watch anymore. That's it.